So students, we are back with the next heading. We are continuing with where we left. We left with the different kinds of cells. These, if you can look, these are the different kinds of cells found in human body, various kinds of cell. This is a nerve cell, this is a blood cells, this is a smooth muscle cell, this is a ovum, this is a sperm, and this is a bone cell. This is a fat cell. So all these cells have different structures and different functions. If you look, this nerve cell has a different structure, blood cells has different structure, different sizes. So why is this so? We'll discuss it from here. The shape and sizes of a cells are related to the specific functions they perform. The size and the shape of the cells are related to the functions they perform. Depends on the functions they perform. Some cells like amoeba have changing shapes. Like amoeba, I told you earlier, is a unicellular organism. So has only one cell. So it keeps on changing its shape. In some cases, the cell shape could be more or less fixed and peculiar for a particular type of cell. For example, nerve cells have a typical shape. Like a nerve cell, you can look in the picture, has a typical shape, has a very different shape. It is due to the type of the functions it performs. Each living cell has a capacity to perform certain basic functions that are characteristics of all living organisms. So each living cell has a capacity to perform certain basic functions that are characteristics of all living forms. So all the living cells in an organism has a certain functions, basic function. I told you, like nerve cell has a different function to perform, blood cells has different functions to perform. So, and how does a living cell perform these basic functions? We all know that there is a division of labor in multicellular organisms such as human beings. So that means that different parts of the human body perform different functions. Like heart helps in the pumping of the blood, right? So similarly, different parts of the body, like heart, the human body perform different functions. So human body has a heart to pump blood, a stomach to digest food, and so on. Similarly, in a cell there are different structures, and all the structures has different functions. We'll discuss regarding that. Like, first let's discuss this. In fact, each such cell has got a certain specific component within it known as cell organelles. So every specific cell has a different specific component within it known as cell organelle. Each kind of cell organelles perform specific functions such as making new material in the cell, clearing up the waste material from the cell, and so on. Like I told about, like we discussed that a human body has different organs to perform different functions. In the similar way, a cell has different cell organelles to perform different functions. Like we have got our excretory system in human body, we have got respiratory system in human body. Similarly, in cell organelles, we have got cell organelles which perform different functions. Some excretes the waste material, some makes food for the cell, some helps in respiration and everything. So there are different cells. A cell is able to live and perform all its function because of these organelles. Okay. Each kind of cell organelle performs a special function, like I told you, such as making new material in the cell, clearing up waste material from the cell, and so on. A cell is able to perform all such functions because of these organelles. These organelles together constitute the basic unit called the cell. It is interesting that all cells are found to have the same organelles no matter what their function is or what organisms they are found in. So the point is, every cell has those cell organelles no matter what their function is or what their organisms they are found in. So every cell has those organs. Every cell has the organ which helps in preparing food. Every cell has organisms or organelles that helps in excretion, that helps in respiration, that helps in maintaining the shape and everything. So this was all about a cell. If someone asks you what are the basic function, structure or characteristics of the cell, so we can say that the characteristics of the cell is that a cell consists of cell organelles which perform different functions, like different organs in a human body. It has cell organelles for making food, it has cell organelles for removing excrete or waste material from the body, it has cell organelles for generating new cells or repairing cells, and all these cells combine to form combines and perform the functions that are supposed to be performed. Okay, so moving to the presentation, there's other different kind of cells that we have discussed, and this is the structure of a cell. The cell is the smallest unit that is capable of performing life functions. Like I told you, this is the different cell organelles: mitochondria, ribosomes, membrane, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, and chloroplast. These are the different cell organelles. So let's have a quick recap. The shape and size of the cells are related to the specific functions they perform. Already discussed about it. Each living cell has a capacity to perform certain basic functions. Cell contains a specific component called organelles. Each kind of cell organelle performs a specific functions. These are the cell organelles: mitochondria, ribosomes, membrane, Golgi bodies. All cells are found to have the same organelles irrespective of their function and which organism they are found in. So the next question is, why are cells of different shapes and sizes found in human body? The shape and size of the cells depend upon the functions they perform. In a human body, each organ performs a specific function. Hence the cells of different organs have different shapes and sizes. Who discovered cells and how? In 1665, Robert Hooke discovered it with the help of a microscope. With the slice of a cork resembled the structure of a honeycomb consisting of small compartments. Okay, why is the cell called the structural and functional unit of life? Cell is called the structural and functional unit of life because it gives structure to the living organism. It helps the living organisms to perform various life functions. Okay, so we'll have a quick outlook into cell membrane or the plasma membrane. Cell membrane or the plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell that separates the contents of the cell from the external environment. So this is the plasma membrane. There is the outermost layer that separates the cell from the external environment, allows the entry and the exit of the materials in and out of the cell. It also prevents the movement of some other materials and is therefore called a selectively permeable membrane. So it allows the entry or the exit of the materials in and out from the cell, and it is also very selective in terms of letting some materials in or out. So it is known as permeable membrane. And the plasma membrane is flexible and is made up of organic molecules like proteins and lipids. This plasma membrane is made up of organic molecules like proteins and lipids. So in the next session we'll talk about diffusion.